for the 18 years, whatever, I've been a sculptor, people always ask, you know, what does this sculpture mean? What is this? And most of the time, almost every single time, I don't really have a meaning for my sculpture. And I now have a huge, it's changed my whole outlook on sculpture and what it can be, or monuments. And I consider monuments sculpture because they're powerful and they're tactile and they're three-dimensional, and to me that's sculptural. It's funny because you do a piece like this, and I'm not a kind of guy who goes to see my work once it's done. I kind of walk away from it. Like the New Jersey Devils piece is a big piece, and I go there and it's sort of a pride piece, you know, it's a big, huge sculpture at a stadium, and so for me it's a, you know, local boy does good type of story for me. But this is totally different, and I don't know how it'll move me after it's actually up and finished. It'll be interesting. I have no idea. I've never seen it up by myself, actually. Just sitting there and standing at the way it's gonna look, because obviously it hasn't been polished yet either. So after it's polished and standing, I have no idea what it's gonna look like. I have none. And that to me is gonna be amazing, and I hope I like it. I mean, I'm nervous about it in a way, but just seeing the few pieces polished, I think it's gonna be amazing. Well, I guess that's why I'm an artist, right? I guess that's why I'm a sculptor, is you want people to experience your work. So it's a good feeling. It's a little daunting as well. You know, when I was designing it, it was really hard to come up with a final design because I was so nervous about what it's going to look like, you know, and what people are going to, how they're going to react to it, and what they're going to think about it. Trying to come up with something that is obviously a crucifix or a cruciform, whatever you want to call it, but to make it more than that, it was kind of difficult, and we'll see how it ends up when it goes up and people respond to it. But not everybody's going to like it, obviously, and that's no big deal. I don't care about that. I mean, I'd like a lot of people to like it, but it makes them stop and think. That's what I think that's what the point is for me. You know, I didn't realize what I sort of had built until the first day we brought it to a church. And a woman had just moved to California from New York and lost 27 of her friends in the Twin Towers. Firemen, policemen. I think she was a policewoman. And that sort of changed how I looked at this thing. I guess I didn't really know what I was doing or the power that it would have until when that woman, I mean, she was absolutely, I mean, she was just blown away and sad and moved. I got to grind it down with the grinding wheels to get it close, and then I polish, and then I'll do one more polish over this. But it's pretty close. If it's a finer polish, I'll get out the rest of those little scratches in those areas. Everybody's so myopic now, and I want them to think greater and a bigger scale. Like this to me is the nation. And you've got all these pieces coming together. I want people to you know, they can have their opinions, but at the end of the day, you've got to sacrifice something for the greater good of whether it's your family, mankind, or whatever it is. I'm sort of rambling now. I don't really know where I'm going, but I guess that message of sacrifice. I mean, it's pretty powerful. When you pick that up, you feel the weight of that, and then you think about that day and 120 stories of that coming down. I mean, God, it's inconceivable. Well, it's amazing how much good comes out of the little bad. I mean, it's bad when people die, obviously. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not bad, but so much good can come out of it. It's the way people react. You know, I coach a lot of sports out in Malibu with my little kids, and one day, it was like 2 years ago, one of the boys made a mistake, and he was, I mean, so upset. And I took him aside and I said, listen, he made a big mistake, and it was clear, you know? I mean, he's only like a 7-year-old kid, right? And he was crying, and I took him aside and said, listen, it's not what you do that matters, it's what you do after what happens what matters. In other words, if something bad happens, let that go. It's what you do to rebound from there, and what you do the next time you're out in the field or the next thing you're doing. That's what matters in life. Bad things happen, and how do you bounce back? And how does it unite people? And how do you take the bad and make it good? And obviously such a devastating day, and how do we take that and make that good and make all these people come back together? I don't know, but I hope in a little way, you know, a couple people anyway, come together over this. You know, we really like to go, it is a cross, and it's obviously very, it can't get any more symbolic than a cross, but I really want to go and talk to Muslim people and go to a mosque and go to a synagogue. You know, my grandfather taught me a quote when I was a boy. I was a little kid, I've never forgotten it, and he said, a winner never quits and a quitter never wins. And it's sort of that same message where, you know, no matter how hard you get down, you just keep plugging away. And it's, you know, how you bounce back. It's like the Wiener Gate right now. It's like, I mean, how can a guy named Wiener get in trouble for taking pictures of himself and sending them? I mean, come on. It's like, how can this guy who's not religious have his cross in his truck? I mean, things that don't make sense, you know? I don't get it, but...